Please be seated. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Blair, for making me feel so welcome this morning. I appreciate it. My name is Allison Mathews, and I am honored to speak with you today on this special day known as Mission Sunday. I work for the Arundel County Public School System with all 8 of the schools in the Broadneck feeder system, and I assist families. I'm here to speak with you about my work in the community and how your church and I collaborated to help local children and families. I would like to start out by telling you a story. Last year, I had the pleasure of meeting a special family. One day last fall, I received a call from a grandmother who needed to enroll 2 children, in a kindergartner and a 9th grader in our Broadneck schools. These 2 children, along with their younger sister, who was preschool aged, were living in Baltimore City and were left unaccompanied without a parent after their mother was unable to care for them. They moved to live with their grandmother in our area, and when they arrived, they came with little to nothing. After enrolling them in school and getting them required school supplies, I quickly made a referral to request clothing from Hope for All, an organization in Glen Burnie that helps many of our local families. Grandmother had to make quite a few adjustments to the way she was living. She now had 3 extra mouths to feed, and her work as a nighttime custodian presented additional child care concerns. She was on a fixed budget, and she did not receive any additional funding for these children, but she did what was right, and she agreed to take care of them. I was able to get donations of gently used books and toys so that the children had some new items to call their own. At the same time, I met Jean Clark from St. Margaret's Church one day while she was volunteering at Windsor Farm Elementary School. I asked her if she could add this little kindergartner to her group, and give her some additional attention that she so desperately needed. Jean took this family's story back to St. Margaret's Church. She shared that this family and other families are in need of help and live right here in our backyards. That prompted a meeting that I was immediately invited to attend at St. Margaret's Church with a few of the elders and Reverend Hay to share some of the needs of our Broadneck Peninsula families. The church wanted to help these struggling families. Within days, grandmother was contacted and a scholarship was provided for the youngest granddaughter to attend St. Margaret's Day School. She was so excited for the chance to attend school just like her big sisters, and it was awesome for her to be in such a wonderful educational setting where she was learning and interacting with others. Since grandmother worked the night shift, it was also nice for her to have a few hours in the morning to recuperate. St. Margaret's invited all of these children to the Monday night Faith and Fellowship dinner, where they could get a nourishing meal and some great interactions with many children and families of St. Margaret's. For the holidays, St. Margaret's made sure that these children had a Christmas, and they showed up at their house with gifts and food items for them to cook a special holiday meal. The support and love that was bestowed upon this family was very much appreciated. Unfortunately, we never really know how much time we'll have with many of these families because often their lives are very transient and they move on to the next location. Sometimes children that I meet have attended 15 elementary schools by the time they are just in the 2nd grade. Each time a child moves, you can imagine the stress and anxiety that is created. Where will we be sleeping? Who will my new teacher be? Will the other kids accept me? For many children, this is their reality. This family that I mentioned earlier was with us for about 7 months, and their circumstances again changed, and they split up to different homes. But I know in my heart that the love that they were shown by this wonderful church community will leave a long impression on these 3 deserving children and their grandmother. This paints a picture of many families that I work with right here in the Broadneck Peninsula. So you may ask, how am I so lucky to work with families such as this? I have had a wonderful career with the Annapolis County Public School System, first as a teacher, then as a school counselor, and now I'm in the role of a pupil personnel worker, also known as PPW. Many people don't know about this role in our schools, so let me try to explain. I work as the bridge between the school buildings and the families in our district. The families that I work with have children that attend school on the Broadneck Peninsula, which includes 5 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and Broadneck High School. If a child begins to miss school, I visit the home to find out what is going on. I help enroll children that come to us when they're living without a parent or they're homeless. If families do not have proper paperwork needed to enroll, I help them get the documents so that they can enroll their children. I help families connect with resources such as your church so that they can support their children with their education. This week, I enrolled a family displaced from one of the recent hurricanes. They arrived with the clothes on their backs to live with a relative and to get back on their feet. To many of these children, moving around is all that they know. Many times they arrive with no paperwork, no belongings, and they need basic necessities to begin school. I often have to visit the pantries, food pantries, and obtain school supplies and clothing for these children so that they can get off to a good start. We never know how long we will have them with us, but while they are here, we treat them as if they are one of our own. As a child, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, and then once I got into the classroom, I knew I wanted to advocate for children and make sure every child had a fair chance. To a great extent, cards are sometimes stacked against some children. It has always been my way to work to break down barriers for children so they are provided every possible chance to meet with success and have a happy life. That has been the main focus of my career. Community resources are vital to my work. My work depends on help from volunteers and donations. At times, I've known of a request on my Facebook page, and within days, many donations are dropped off on my front porch for me to give to children. So, depending on the people in our community is what I do when I need help for these local families. Last school year, I was so fortunate to work with your wonderful, generous church. Many people are shocked and amazed when they hear about a family of 5 sharing one room at the local motel, the Village Inn. This single mother supported her 4 teenagers with her job at a local fast food establishment. Their kitchen consisted of a mini fridge and a microwave. This family, once again, was invited each week to attend church dinner and youth group, and they were treated as if they were lifelong members of St. Margaret's. Your church was so welcoming and loving to these 4 children. They really looked forward to their night at your church, where they could get out of that motel room for a few hours and live like normal kids. They would leave with full bellies and leftovers packed up for them to share the next day. They loved being a part of your church, and Janelle Mahea and Jeff Conover made sure that they left with smiles on their faces. When Janelle learned about her upcoming birthday, she would deliver a bag of sunshine with goodies to the motel so that the child could celebrate their special day. Jeff organized with the youth group a winter clothing drive, so 25 children received warm PJs, blankets, hats, and gloves for the winter. As Christians, we're guided by our faith to live with others in mind. We are reminded to ask ourselves the question, what would Jesus do? We listened today to the readings that reminded us that this is how Jesus would want us to live, to give to others when we are able. Jesus wanted us to share our wealth with others. This doesn't always mean donations of material items, but of our time as well. If we have 2 shirts, give one away. Many are so fortunate among us, but there are so many right here in our neighborhoods who see it as impossible to buy a new pair of school shoes. In James, we learn today that it is important to worship and praise God, but the most significant way we show our love is by our service to others. If we send our blessing, but offer no assistance, what good is that? Our actions and our deeds are what makes a difference in the lives of others and in our lives as well. I was raised surrounded by a family that taught me how important it was to give to others and show compassion. My mother spent her career as a social worker in the Baltimore City foster care system. She cared and protected marginalized children, and she was an advocate for all. I do the work that I do today already involved in various service projects, and that makes my heart happy. Besides making a huge difference in someone's life, I promise you will get something out of this for yourself also. This summer, Time Magazine ran a great article called "The Secret of Happiness is Helping Others" by Jenny Santee. It told of a Chinese saying, "If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone." The article went on to state that there is an abundance of scientific data to support that giving is a powerful path to personal growth and happiness. Ms. Santee goes on to offer a few tips to find this happiness. Tip number 1, find your passion. At the mission fair today, many missions of St. Margaret's were showcased. Which outreach moves you and piques your interest? Find your gift to share with others. We all have been given precious gifts. My grandparents were loyal volunteers in their community. They especially enjoyed their work with the Hospice of the Chesapeake. For years, they served as visiting friends. They visited patients in hospice, and they helped families with the difficulties that families encounter during those very last trying days. Their passion was their compassion and acceptance of others, no matter what stage of life they were in. To this day, each April, the Joseph and Elizabeth Early, my grandparents, Volunteer of the Year Award is chosen by the Hospice of the Chesapeake in memory of my grandparents and their undying service. Tip number 2, give your time. Sure, it's helpful to get donations of new shoes and school supplies, but it's absolutely amazing to see one of your church members mentor and tutor a homeless child that really needs that special attention. Tip number 3, find ways to integrate your interests and skills with the needs of others. Perhaps you have a knack for math. You would make a great tutor one day a week. Perhaps, or maybe there's a high school girl that has always wanted to crochet, and you could teach her a new hobby. A seamstress out there could make blankets for children in our schools that live in foster care. They often arrive on the Broadneck Peninsula with no belongings. Your gifts and talents can be shared with others. I feel very fortunate that I had this opportunity to speak with you today, and I would like to thank this wonderful church community, along with the pastors and the leaders, for making so many meaningful connections for some of my families. Without your support and love last year, families would not have had meals. Families would not have had Christmas. Families would not have been able to send their children to camp. Children would not have had warm hats, gloves, and blankets for the winter. I honestly say that when I had a need, this church had an answer. Thank you so much for your continued partnership to help these children. I want to leave you with one last story. One awesome young man that I've had the pleasure of working with for several years is now a junior at Broadneck High School, and he's a running back on the varsity football team. After moving back to the Broadneck Peninsula in the middle of his 9th grade year, after a series of unfortunate events, he was able to move in with a friend and his family when they offered to give him a home. Last year, when preseason for football rolled around, he needed necessary football equipment so he could get out on the field and try out and play the game that he enjoys so much. After taking him to Modell's that was funded by a donor, he was ready, he was all set and ready to go. This year, in my office a few weeks ago, he told me that life is much better now than it was 2 years ago, thanks to a stable home and a wide support system. We were able to help him purchase a new copy of his birth certificate from New York, and he received a scholarship to take driver's ed at the high school, and he's now all ready to go get his driver's license. He's working with a mentor this year, and he has big plans to attend college. I'm personally so proud of this young man. So thank you once again for your time today, and I hope each of you can achieve that awesome level of happiness that you will feel when you practice kindness and compassion for others by offering your service. Thank you.